Okay, this video is showing a factory safety arrangement for a Mini 14, and we came up with a ergonomic safety cover that makes the safety on the factory arrangement much easier to operate. And anybody who has one of these knows this safety is very narrow, maybe a 1/16 of an inch in width, and when you try to operate the safety, it's very hard on the finger, both pulling and pushing forward on the safety. So this cover, it triples the width of the contact area that would be on your finger while operating the safety, as well as adding a surface which you can operate the safety from without having your finger forward or behind the safety lever. So there's a couple of different advantages for the cover. Now this video will show you how to install the cover. You're either going to have a black oxide finish rifle or a stainless steel rifle, and so we make the covers in both black oxide and stainless. And you get some epoxy and a stir stick and a clamp to hold the cover while the epoxy cures. You'll need some Q-tips or swabs and some alcohol in order to clean both the safety cover and the factory safety surfaces to allow the epoxy to bond well. First of all, we're going to remove the trigger group from the rifle. We'll check to make sure it's clear and put your safety in the on position. Then, using a punch or something of that nature, remove the trigger group. All right, we'll set the rifle aside, and we're going to first clean both surfaces. The surface that we're going to be epoxying the cover to, and the inside of the cover. We're going to use alcohol for that, isopropyl alcohol, and a cotton swab. And you'll want to get that surface very clean. It may take several swabs to get it clean. Make sure that you're not getting any color on the swab. That will get rid of any oils or residues on the surfaces. Then we can go ahead and dry those and get rid of any excess alcohol on the surface with a dry clean swab. And we'll let that dry just a little bit longer too while we're mixing the epoxy. Okay, here we have the epoxy packet, and you'll fold that over. There's two halves of the packet. Fold it over and then cut the end off, and that will give you access to both the hardener and the resin. And we'll squeeze that out with your stir stick. Make sure you get it all out. Okay, then we can discard the packet. Mix your epoxy thoroughly. You want to be careful not to apply too much epoxy. Whatever you have in excess will squeeze out, and will wind up getting up into the trigger group if you're not careful. So I'm going to use a Q-tip or a swab and just apply a small amount of epoxy. You just want to make sure, dry fit the cover, and you can see where your cover comes to, and don't put any epoxy above where the cover is. That will be helpful to know where that cover comes up to. And then just apply a light amount on the whole surface, and you can get a little bit around the edges. That's good. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and put the cover on. Okay, now in order to get the clamp on, you're going to want to first turn it over and clean anything that has squeezed out from behind with a swab and some just a dry swab, and get rid of any excess epoxy that has come out the backside. And just be careful and check, make sure there's nothing up at the very top where the safety lever goes into the trigger group. Then we're going to want to close your trigger guard and put your safety off, and that will give you room to get in here and clean the front side. Again, clean, dry swab, make sure there's no epoxy up near where the lever goes into the trigger group, and check everything thoroughly, and if it all looks good, then you can go ahead and put your clamp on here and let that sit for 24 hours until it's fully cured. Then you can reinstall the trigger group into your rifle and you're good to go. Oh, you're doing that. Oh, right. Oh.